consult to support. I don't know how they were consulted, but the National Assembly have woken up one morning to say they were consulted. R15, the Northeast has been in flames since 2015. They have not declared any of those states state of emergency, where millions of Nigerians are dying, where poor people are dying. And in the last 3 days, the only thing that gave bloody men erection was that a lady came out to say Lagos was smelling. And democracy is slipping away from us. That was the only thing that interested Nigerians. And we're all making noise, blah, blah, blah. Well, people begin, out of you see, they this space that you follow co-host one, people are beginning to differentiate the type of smell, whether it's a big smell or small smell or minute smell or not everywhere smell. That was what men, some of us in abroad over 20 years, where you become a citizen, your children are feeding off benefits. You understand what processes means. You can walk anywhere. A small person go fit call you N-word, you go vex, and you go take them to jail, and you can get your right. You go there your work, they go put down for red, they say, red card to racism. You get a booger. But somebody say Lagos is smelling. And those dumb, empty, barbaric call will say, go to where you come from. Now God go punish you now. I keep quoting Baba Galadima. God bless you the day you make that statement. May all of you now die. Let all of you die. I'm happy with that statement he made that day. Look at what is happening in Rivers State. Population is saying there are about 7 or 9 million persons in that state. And no one cares about them. Nobody. And now waiting me and you they even talk about is how to survive. Either Wike should survive or this to survive. And R15, do you know the madness around the speech of the presidency? He never acknowledged that it's one man in his cabinet that is causing that disorganization in that state called Port Harcourt or River State. He has never come out to say, bros, as minister, we don't bless you with what you talk. Man, I don't give you agreement. Allow this guy to run. You know why? Because for 23 years or 25 years, he has been saying what will happen in Lagos. And we have told him, Master, I want to be like in River State. I want to say what will happen. And if it's possible, let us burn it down. And what did they do? Frustrated this House of Assembly. Commissioners were waking up to say they are not doing anything. And people are now coming to quote constitution. You cannot pass a bill with 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 10/4 of the House members. To be honest, my only problem is my Rivers brothers. I don't care about Fubara. He's as guilty as the system. He's as guilty as the system. He was rewarded. And now, the kingmaker, no gree leave king, main do the kingship now. Kingmaker wanted king waiting to do. King saying no do again. Now their problem. But it's the 7 million people or 9 million people as our 2006 census has called that population, because we'll never get population. Every people they do an estimate. Now them I pity. So my Rivers brothers, my Rivers sisters, daddies and mommies, I don't know how you want to save your lives, how you can save your life, but it now comes back to you. I know that we are all cowards because now here if he end, maybe later I'll call out 15 whether I get Igboma smoke. But I know it will end there. But if you know how to rise up to save your life, we should look for, I think we should be talking more of us, not them. You don't jabaru, be say you don't jabaru. But you know one thing about precedence, you know one thing about continuous stupidity, nobody has a pitch, nobody has a standard for it. That picking with a thief 10 naira or 20 naira, you look and say, not just 20 or 10 naira in the thief. In your very before eyes, now billions in go the thief. It go happen, we go play politics. It go no go happen, we go still play politics. Now it's visiting us to our doorsteps. You don't know why these white people, and I keep saying, do you think these white people are sane as we call them? They're very useless people too. Thanks, Imperfect, I can round up. They're as useless as we are too. They are humans. But do you know what has controlled them? Laws. Now, law, they control them. Do you know why they put brakes in cars? It's not because they want it to function. It's because it's a regulator. It's to regulate speed. It's to stop and take charge when everything has broken down in a vehicle. That is the function of brake. And that's what laws are supposed to do. But over time in the last 60 years, we have bent and misused that law. And for every time that law gets increased in stupidity, we try to see how we can extract some people out of it. 9 million people in River State. Rise up and let us take back our state. Thank you, Imperfect, R15 and Equity. Good morning, sirs. Or good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I feel like may start my initial submission and the Nazi, but they are not here again. So let's move on to someone else. I think Ordinary United talk. Abi, equity.
I think it's
Go
Balemi
on.
before myself.
It's Bellamy.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
going
okay.
to speak, please.
Oh,
I
okay, okay. Go on, Bellamy.
thank you very much. I want to greet everybody on the space, and I think I would sound very different. I wouldn't toe the path everybody has been towing since. I want to remove my emotions and say what is on my mind. Number one is in as much we all agree that the president have no right to remove the governor. Then what are the facts? The fact still remains that I think what the president did was in the interest of Fubara himself, removing him instead of letting the House of Assembly impeach him. If he had been impeached, which we knew would happen any moment, he would never have any chance to come back. Removing him for 6 months, suspending for 6 months, would now give room. They must settle. Fubara and Wike must settle. The president will settle them behind closed doors, and the man will
Can you
be
guys hear me?
reinstated. You understand? So I think the president actually did him a favor,
Wait,
a very
Bellamy,
big one.
Bellamy, sorry. Bellamy, are you telling
Equity.
us what will happen?
Equity, they hear
Or
me?
yeah.
Ah, okay, cool. Bellamy, they hear
Bellamy,
me?
are you telling us what will happen or you're just assuming?
I am telling you what will happen. It is
Okay.
the president knew what he did, and I think what he did is for interest of Fubara. We should see it that way. The House of Assembly members were very bent on removing him, and it was so. It has been nailed. The president stepping in saved him. I can tell you, the state of emergency will be suspended even before 6 months. It will. That's number one. Number two, did we forget so soon that these same people doing this thing, both the Wike camp and the Fubara camp, the local government chairman, that all of them denied the people of River State to make their choice. All of them. Both the people on Wike's side now and those they all made it impossible for the people of to pick who would govern them. Everybody in the helm of affair in River State in 2023 election was imposed. We know who won River State. At least for election, we know who won. Have you forgotten so soon how this same Fubara kept quiet Martin Amefule kept quiet. All of them conspired. Have we forgotten so soon that it is this same Fubara who was the accountant general? Every money that Wike stole was stored. We steal that money in the presence of this Fubara.
Please, Bellamy, can you hear me? What
Yes.
if he was doing it under duress? Like, you know how
Let
wicked could be.
me tell you. Let me tell you what he would have done. Let me tell you what he would have done. He would have tendered his resignation letter. He should have tendered his letter of resignation and not do again. For him to have, why haven't he come out to say that there are money missing or to prosecute the government of Wike, even despite everything Wike is doing to him? Because he's complicit. In everything Wike did in River State, Fubara's hand was in it. Everything. Did you forget so soon that this man and Wike had a private conversation and they agreed on something before Wike sticks his neck for him? Even when people were telling him, don't put this Fubara, Wike stood. Yes, during campaign. Who here now will tell me that they ever saw a speech during campaign? He was taken and installed because they had an agreement with Wike. No governor, every governor that wants to put someone will call you. Some even take them to question. Let's forget the result because something matter something. Now something caused something. You agreed on these terms and conditions. You agreed. And this man made you who you are today. And all of a sudden, you did a 360 to everything you people like agreed behind closed doors. Wike is brutal, I agree. What he is doing is bad, I agree. But let's look at where this thing started. Make we not just jump, go for mouth. They call person. They call Wike. I know. He who comes with equity should come with clean hands. What did Wike have against Fubara that Fubara cannot act? A governor, a sitting governor with all the whole powers he have, with all the whole money from IGR, with all the old oil companies, that Fubara will be thrown out like a chicken. So something is wrong. And the better for Fubara, if I were him, I go tell them, say, I don't do again. When to marry, I don't do again. He told us he was rich. For him to be receiving this humiliation up and down, he washed his hands and went to eat with the devil. Fubara and Wike is 5 and 6. Ofi Kafabo. There is no differentiation. All of them, they are all the same thing. All of them are the same thing. All three of them, there is no difference. Nobody should feel empathy or feel sorry for Fubara. Nobody should feel anything for Fubara. They are all the same thing. I yield my mind.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Equity. We go on Equity.
Yeah, I think now you after you, King.
Equity.
Yeah.
Okay.
People they request Mike. I
Yes.
go drop
Okay,
people down and bring them up.
make Udwan go next. Now, we're going to our beautiful ladies. Look at this motherfucker. Are you okay? We come to Ibile and Maya. Okay, say them be quiet. But
Yeah, no, I go bring people they request Mike up.
All right, thank you, host and co-host, and I greet you guys. Now the question is not
this boy
the
sounds
question is not
familiar.
about
Your name is not Udwan. This boy sounds familiar. Maybe attack with
Make I
this lawyer.
make I finish now. You
Ah, your uncle is not the governor of Rivers State, all the way from Akwa Ibom. Oh, now I see. Now,
I like Akwa
yeah, from
Ibom,
Akwa
abeg.
Ibom, na lie. I know you.
Are you dey give me Akwa Ibom again?
You don't change.
Anyway,
Okay, go on.
thank you. Now it's simple. I did not change. That's one of my names here. So it is fundamental as a society when issue like this present itself. You ask the question. The society is built and embedded on law. What is the position of law as regards this issue? Is there any law made in that regard? Is the constitution provided for it? Or have there been any judicial pronouncement on issue like this? That's the question you will ask. The question is, can the president actually remove a governor in Nigeria? The section that the president actually provided for in section 305 and relied on, is it workable for him to remove a governor in Nigeria? The answer is no. That's the question you need to ask. It's not about whether Fubara supported the Atiku to do election or supported the Wiki to do election. That is not the issue at hand right now. The fact that you have issue with him, the previous issues, does not mean that he will negate the present impasse that's been created by the president in any sense. In any sense, we should not support an impasse that have created injustice in the system. There are political shenanigans we talk about. Yes, there's issues in Nigeria, and it's not limited to Fubara. Call me a governor in Nigeria that was not brought in by people. Call one governor you know today that did not become governor through some people who are already there, like godfathers in any sense.
Peter
In that
Obi.
language you want to
Peter
use.
Obi.
Peter Obi did not even become governor without people.
No, you said
Mr.
Godfather. You said God. No, no, no.
No, listen now. Let Odumodu Ojukwu, even before he died, he went about with people and told them that this is the last thing they will do for him before he will die. So don't come here and make it look as if anybody that become governor or president in Nigeria without the sole input of people. So in Nigeria is our norm presently. Maybe when we start getting the electoral system right, then we'll start talking about the rightness of it. However, when they're determined to say this is our governor, this is our president, and the law have confirmed this is what it is, we will abide by it. Unless we have another chance to say we want to change it. Now, the issue that have been raising in River State have been very ugly situation. Like Charlie P said, like every other person have said, it is fine that issues have been there, but did the president have the power to even intervene and give somebody a 10-point agenda to do anything? Section 6 of the Constitution of Nigeria is clear. When there are issues between individuals or institution against institution, individuals against institution, it is the court of law that should be able to determine these matters right and wrong in any sense. Nigeria is a
Which court of
country
law?
of
Which court of law?
see, let me give you Mr. Odukodu. He may not agree with the court of law, but if there's no court of law, there's anarchy that is reigning already, because that's what the president is doing today. No matter how the court is bad, I believe very well that we can improve, but very as it is, we have to still go back to reflect back to the law. An eye for an eye will blind everybody. So you see, reflect back to the law. He may not agree with, like myself, I have problem with our system. And it's painful that the Supreme Court of Nigeria have become an arm of political discussion today. But that is not what it was. There are people who have rose from the rank and file of that Supreme Court, and they have made impact. I used to say very well that one of the persons that made me to study law was Kayode Shaw. So it's not about anybody telling you anything. It's about the fact that we have a nation of law, and law have to prevail in every discussion we are doing. Now there are wrong calls in the state. What should have happened is to refer back to the court if there are problem within the state and the House of Assembly and the state governor. The Supreme Court will hear it, because that one gives the Supreme Court the original jurisdiction to even entertain such matter. But no, they say it's a political impasse. Now the political impasse, the president and hand over 10-point agenda to the governor or whatever it is. Now, let's even leave that issue as it is. Let's talk about even the original discussion of yesterday of what President Tinubu actually exercised, whether he has the power to do so. The Section 305 that the president relied on, giving power to remove a sitting governor, a governor that was elected by the people. So if you say because you don't agree with Tinubu, you don't agree with this thing is emotional. Nobody is emotional here. Nobody should be emotional here. The question is, if you are in a society that is working, can they remove a minister or a governor in where you the country you are residing without the due process of law? It's not possible. That's how society works. I've said it severally that Nigeria and the other part of the world, every human being you see, they are all the same. The only difference between this human being is that there's a law that checkmates your actions. And when there are laws that checkmates your actions, you people prevail. The law prevail. That's when we talk about the rule of law. The law the law should prevail against any other person. Any discussion, the law should prevail. I think very well that the president Tinubu has set another set a very bad standard for Nigerian system. The president Tinubu, as it is today, condemn Obasanjo and Jonathan, even when Jonathan followed the rule of law as he ought to be in Section 305, that when he pronounced just of emergency in 3 states in the northeast, he did not remove the governors in Nigeria in those states. So where did the president Tinubu, who criticized Jonathan for exercising such power, today is doing worse than what constitution is not provided for? So even though you want to support Tinubu, you want to be a moral agent for Tinubu, which is fine. It's your right to support anybody you want to support. But your right to support anybody you want to support, it does not inure you to do whatever you are doing to support evil. When the Nigeria country confess, Nigeria country should confess, not ethnicity, not Tinubu should confess before you. But since yesterday, I have seen that a particular set of people have made up their mind to think that whatever the president does is right and is justiciable and is something that everybody must abide to. No, I expected that last night that Mr. Fubara would have taken the World Cup press conference and reject the decision of the president. The president does not exercise such power. There's no place in the Section 305 that gives the power of the president to do so. Not Section 11, not Section 305, no provision of the Constitution that provided that the president can suspend a governor in any sense. No place that is clearly written that the president have the power to suspend any governor. Not even the local government chairman. Supreme Court have held consistently that the governor do not have the power to remove a local government chairman. Consistently. Even though they are consistent
Okay,
about it,
Oduayo, you are
in
a
Edo
lawyer,
State,
right?
yeah.
Oduayo, you're a lawyer, right?
Ask me question,
And I
please.
said, you're a lawyer.
Ask me question. No one ask me. Just leave it. Let me allow
No,
me talk my.
now there's a reason I'm asking. Hello, morning. Because everything, according to you now, you said um, Tinubu doesn't have the rights to remove or
He doesn't
suspend
have
a
the
government.
power. Not even the right. Doesn't have the power.
Okay, good.
He doesn't exercise the
Okay,
power.
good. Lord Tunde and OJ, do you guys agree to this? What you just said now? Yes or no?
I disagree 100%.
Okay, hold on.
No,
Okay,
no. This is
Sorry,
OJ.
in
I
just now.
have a question.
wait, guys, hold on, please. OJ, do you also agree with what he said now? Yes or no, please, OJ.
I didn't hear him. What did he say? Sorry.
He said
Go
Tinubu
ahead,
doesn't have the
Nani.
rights to do what he did yesterday, like
He doesn't have the
he
power
doesn't
to
have the
do what he
power
did.
to
Like I use
remove
the
a
word power.
sitting
I'm very selective in my
Yes
language.
or no,
Yes.
OJ? Do you
Yes,
he said?
yes. I've heard many lawyers. They've had that this opinion that Tinubu doesn't have the power. I've
Okay,
heard many lawyers, many pronounced lawyers saying that
okay. So that means
he doesn't have the
that
power.
Wait,
means
you genuinely
hold
wait.
on, guys.
Imperfect,
They
imperfect,
But I have a
imperfect,
question for
know
him
it's
though.
not going to read.
imperfect.
He doesn't have that.
Wait, imperfect. Make him just try go back to it. He does have the power
Please, can you tell me where the
to
power is, please? Can
remove.
you explain no,
Wait
can you tell us? No,
now,
tell
hold
us when you
on,
think
calm
something.
down. Let me tell
Okay,
you
tell me.
now. Let me tell you. Hold on, let me tell you. He does have the power. Hmm? When the peace of the state is being threatened,
Please,
and
please,
the
please, please,
governor,
go and rest.
who is the
Go and rest.
CFO, wait
Tell me
now,
where the power. Why you talking what you
relax,
don't do? Tell us where you are
relax,
pointing to. Which provision of
relax.
Section 305?
Arif 15, hold
305
on.
has three subsections. Tell us where you are pointing to. Say Section
I know
305
why, like,
sub
you know
1
what,
or
yeah,
sub
with
2 or
now,
sub
to
3.
make
Let's
it
go
go
and look
on.
at
I
it.
have one
And tell
question
me
for you.
Okay, guys.
Odudayo, I
Okay,
have one
guys.
question
why
for you.
you say this is where is it? Tell us say the president has suspended this
The
state.
law is very clear.
I
You
How
can't
have
remove
one
it.
question for you,
Not say-
activist. Can you hear me?
can you come out and tell us what's not possible? Please, Mr. Rookie.
Odudayo, can you hear me? I have a question for you.
Okay.
How you doing? Good afternoon.
Yeah, boss, I get you, sir.
Yes. So my question is, and I want you to please answer in all honesty. I know say be honest man, you know. So let's because I've heard many arguments, and I'm not a lawyer, you know. So and if you hear many people that are refined lawyers sound having an opinion, you don't argue with them ignorantly. So let me agree that based on the law that we currently operate today, that Mr. President does not have the power to remove Fubara. Now, I want to ask you one question in that regard. Considering what was going on in Rivers State, as of that yesterday, that there is a clear line between the state assembly and the executive arms of government of Rivers State. Hey, I'm busy going inside. And there is clear evidence say 2 pipelines have gone off. And there is a high possibility that people will start dying. And the governor has seems not to have control over those scenarios that is ongoing. What do you think the president should have done differently
I don't
in
think what
that
happened in
case?
Rivers State. I don't think what happened in Rivers State yesterday or the last few days can compare to what happened in the Northeast for more than even up to this moment as we speak. I don't think
Hold,
what happened in
you,
Rivers.
you
I'm
know the
coming now.
importance. Wait
Right?
now.
Listen.
I
Hold on,
want
hold
you
on,
to
hold on, hold on. I'm
yes.
coming now. I'm answering your question. I have
Okay.
a question, right? Good. I don't think what happened in 2022, 2012 in the Northeast can compare to any part of Nigeria. So don't come here and tell us that say, oh, in the Northeast it happened, in the university it happened. There, this thing.
Uncle, you
When
too
it
go
happened,
far.
I'm coming
Now
now.
that kind
Hold on.
who be remove
Hold on.
or
Hold on, please.
who be remove?
When it happened in these places, what did the president do? President Jonathan then, what did he do? Section 305 sub 1 said that you will transmit after you make before you break coalition, transmit the letter, a gazette to the National Assembly. What did the National Assembly do? They approved it. And when they approved it, the president sent his military to take over those places. And you know, even when the president even did so, it was not all part of this Northeast, the 3 states that were even doing so. They designated some areas in these states, in these 3 states of Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno State, and they went there. The governors were there, were governors there. The governors were doing the business of governors, because the power of Section 305 does not empower the president to suspend to suspend any governor. He has the power to invoke state of emergency, but it does not give him the power to suspend any governor in Nigeria. And the only place he can remove a governor is when one, and it has been determined before now in AMPP versus AMPP versus INEC, when Atiku became president of Nigeria and Bono Adona became governor of Adamawa State. And the argument was whether Atiku validly left the party, Bono Adona can become governor. The court said, in this sense, the only fourth instance you can become you can live as a governor. One is when you die. Two, when you are incapacitated, in extreme incapacitation, like what happened in Taraba State when Sunte died, or had accident on the plane. That's 2. 3 is when there is impeachment. 4, when you resign. 4, when you resign. That the one that have been in the case of over the years is the case of Inikoja and Adele case, 2005 case of what happened in Oyo State, when the governor was removed illegally against due process of law, which was input process of section 188. The Supreme Court came down against them. That was the first time. Peter Obi's case was the second case when the Supreme Court came down against us. Assembly. They said you do not have the power. You did not exercise the power. Even you have the power to impeach the governor, you did not exercise it within the constraint of the law. These were justices of Supreme Court of these years. They were human beings. They were still human beings. So when you come out and say whether they have been, there's a president Tinubu can rely on. In 2012 or 2014, to declare state of emergency in this state, he did not come out, he did not remove governors there. Why
So
will he say now
what should
today
he
he want to
have
remove
done? That's
governors?
my question. What should he have done?
What would Tinubu
I
have
want
done?
to
It's
hear your
simple thing.
opinion. What should he have
Listen to
done
me.
differently?
Listen to me. What he will have done differently, he will not do differently. He will only do what the law says. You can only do what the law says. What did the law say? That's what you do. You can't do anything differently. Unless you want to amend the law is very clear. Section 305. What you should do. You do not have the power to do so. You do not have the power. You cannot assume power you do not have. The law is very clear. Section 1, see, let me give you. Section 1 sub 2 of the Constitution of Nigeria is very clear that you cannot take over power without due process without the constitutional provision. What is it? Section 1 sub 2, you cannot take over power. The military Tinubu put there cannot take over power because Section 1 sub 2 does not recognize him. Section 1 sub 2 does not recognize him, which is that for you to assume power in Nigeria, you have to do process of law. So on which regard is Tinubu bringing an administrator in that place? So Tinubu have set a precedent that he himself does not believe in the first instance. This was a person who said he fought democracy between 1990s. He fought democracy. If you fought democracy, you are not bringing military incursion into our democracy. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Wonderful submission. Nice submission. The last speaker, God bless you, because after what happened during the last election, I was like, any of my kids, I'll be like, Daddy, I want to go and read law. You go train yourself for investing. But when I hear people like you speak, I'll be like, okay, there's still hope for Nigeria, because waiting APC, they use our lawyers, they do not be here. But anyway, thank you so much for your, and OJ, you see why I like you. at least you say okay. At least you are still open. But Lotunde now no go still agree. Say within this
No,
boy I talk now. Say
I
say
imperfect.
before
He
say
has
you,
not answered
I
my
won't read that
question.
more. I won't read that
To
more.
be honest,
okay, wait. Okay,
see,
wait.
I
let
won't
Okay,
read
wait.
that more. I won't read the
please
thing.
give
No.
me
Okay,
a second. Give me a
hold on,
second,
hold
imperfect.
on,
Please,
hold
Biko,
on,
give me
hold
a
on,
second.
guys. Hold on,
Please.
guys. Hey,
I want to
um,
engage Odudayo. He's my brother. I want to engage him. Give me a few seconds. See, this is my question. I have heard what you said, and I'm not a lawyer, okay? And I've heard many senior lawyers having this your opinion that Mr. President does not have that right. Now, as I've asked you first, Olulayo, and I am asking because I want to know. I'm not as I could keep quiet and have my opinion to myself, but I want to, I want to hear the clear point from you. Now, you've established that Mr. President no get the power to remove him, and he decided to say, okay, since the executive and state house are not, aligning, and people might soon start to die, and the issue on ground is between the two arms. Sorry, the governor and the legislative, which they are supposed to be in charge. The judiciary have gone on leave, 1 year leave. So, and pipeline, a national asset that is key to the economy of the country, have started going up. So my honest
okay,
is coming from a very honest opinion.
okay.
So what do you
Anyways,
think
then
the
let me
What's your
first
president
of all
should
let
have
me clear
done
your
to
doubt. There's
arrest
no
that
court in
issue?
Nigeria that can go on recess for 1 year. First of
Is
all,
it
let me give you
wait
now. Hold
now? The
on, hold
government,
on, hold on, hold on. If
Oh,
there's
okay,
no court in
okay, okay.
Nigeria that can
OJ,
go on recess
OJ,
for
you're
1 year
taking much time, please. You're taking
in
much time.
Nigeria.
OJ,
And
you're
two,
no,
if
no.
there's
supposed to
no
know something.
court, if
Imperfect.
there's no court in
We
Port
need to please
Harcourt,
let him
the
respond.
nearest
Please let him
environment
respond.
is
Please.
if there's no court in Port Harcourt to entertain a matter of such nature, you can go to a nearby. That's what the constitution provided, 48 hours. So you can still go to a place to go and if there's a criminal activities in this any sense. However, my own problem is that there's no criminal activity that Tinubu cannot curtail. First, it's very clear. Section 305 is very clear. The gamut of Section 305 is very clear. The president can exercise the power of emergency when issue of this nature, if there's an issue of this nature that have arisen, the president can do so. And the president will not do so. Section 305 sub 1 said that you will transmit the letter to the Gazette, the letter to the National Assembly, to the President of the Senate and the Speaker of House of Rep, and they will have an approval to it. If they approve it, you go on with it. But in the interim, the president do not have the power to remove a governor or suspend a governor within any language you are using without due process of law. There are still 4 instances you can remove a governor. These have been determined in many instances. In articles case, I mentioned it earlier. So please, when you are talking about these things, the president knows what to do. The power of the president is to state of emergency in this instance. If he does so, and like the power is there, that's fine. But he doesn't have the power to remove a sitting governor. That's the honest truth. That is the honest truth. He doesn't have
Okay,
Tinubu does not even have the power to remove a councillor in Nigeria. It doesn't have the power.
okay,
This is our law. It doesn't matter. You can
okay,
see a governor in Texas. We talk against President Donald Trump, but the president cannot say because he doesn't like his face, we remove him. There are many governors that are having problem with Donald Trump, but the president cannot say you want to exercise power to remove them. Which power are you using? People elected this person the way they elected you. Supreme Court affirmed you the way they affirmed him. So which power is he going to exercise that is not clearly written? Like somebody said, they said there's 305 there. Please, can you point us to a particular place and you can read it, comprehend it as a person that's of reasonable nature, and you can say this
okay,
is what you want?
Odunayo,
okay. All right,
Thank you.
Odunayo, thank you
thank you
very
so much.
much. Thank you.
Imperfect, just
Thank
one
you so
minute,
much.
just 1 minute. No, be no, just 1 minute.
Oh,
Wait.
everybody wants to take
MBA
1
later,
minute.
for update.
Everybody wants to take 1 minute.
No, Imperfect, hold on. Later from MBA, official communique. Everybody go read them. I don't pin and there. All this any
Okay,
argument about go read them.
okay,
You not
all
You
right.
get
wait,
Thank
power.
you.
you go
Okay,
post what we
thank
not
you,
get
thank you
ahead.
so
Make I say
much.
you full
Thank you so
later.
much.
Which one
Thank
you
you
go?
so much. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
I
Lord
think
Tunde,
she
I
is
beg,
doing this,
everybody
Abi.
hold on, please. I beg, the next few minutes now, I'm not going to talk again. I don't go enter container. Get 40 feet where I want ship go Nigeria. I want to say, I beg, make customs reduce the cost of flaring. I beg, I don't tire, guys. Like, I don't tire. Lord Tunde, I beg, read your own constitution. Who is get Lord Tunde? At least we have another celebrated lawyer here. Lotunde, are you here?
Yeah, I
Can you
mean,
hear me? Yes.
I
Okay.
don't even
Read your
know.
own. Read your own. Make we hear. Maybe your turn to
Okay,
don't not submission. Read the one where you get your own version of
why you
Nigerian
gonna
law.
tell me what I go do? You not tell them what they go do. Because, no,
I said
okay,
it's
give me
not
a
your turn
second.
to speak. I said you said you have your own to read.
In the
So
so
read
is
your
it?
own to us, please. Okay, read your own to us. Make we hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna start from section 188 2B, stating that the holder of such office is guilty of gross misconduct, which Fubara has been guilty of. Number
Are
one,
you okay?
right? Oh,
Who
please now.
Wait now, Jesus Christ of India. Let him read his own.
Ah,
Please, Rookie, wait now. Let him just speak. Hold on. Let us learn. Hold on, please. Odwaya, please be on standby. Our celebrity lawyer, please also listen. Thank you. Lotunde, please go on, please. Elon, see the new too now. Lotunde, over to you, please. Go on if you can hear me, Lotunde.
okay. Please don't. They shouldn't interject me. I'm begging, not like So this was amended in 2018 by Buhari, which was approved by Saraki, who I think was the Senate president then. Please, if you don't have the amended, no, don't go and be quoted 1999. This was amended. Section 188 2B, stating that the holder of substance is guilty of gross misconduct, which Fubara has been guilty of. Same Fubara has been guilty of gross misconduct. Number one, burning of state house of assembly. Okay, let me continue. In the performance of the function of his office, detailed particulars of which shall be specified. Now, let's look at which was followed. Let's look at what was followed. The House of Assembly has initiated the proceeding of impeachment against this person, aka Sim Fubara. Right? They've initiated it. Had it been that thing was completed, which I agree with that value or something like that, had it been that thing was completed, this guy would have been impeached. But the president have to step in as the commander of the chief armed forces of Nigeria. Like you have to understand what Tinubu is in Nigeria. Commander means like he control the Navy, Air Force, police, anything. It takes Tinubu not done nothing just to need to okay, I'm gonna take everything away from you. That's it. Let me now continue. Let me continue now. The speaker of the House of
Please,
Assembly
it's your
shall
turn.
within wait, let me finish now. Let me just read it. The speaker of the House of Assembly shall within 7 days of the receipt of the notice cause a copy of the notice to be served to the holder of the of the office of the Nigerian president. This thing was served to Nigerian president. So the Nigerian president
What
have
you
the
they read?
right.
Are you understand what you they read? They impeach the president. They go for
Oh,
what you they
Jesus
read?
Christ, man.
This
What
is
you they
why
read
I
for
said
yourself?
Tunde?
Nigerians
What you
push
they
to not just
Oh.
Lord Tunde, I said read.
how do you they read this thing for yourself? Are you okay? Then we go.
Please hold on, please. Lord Tunde, read for us to listen. Then we will now respond to you. Lord Tunde, don't
So
read
why
and
is he
exclude.
why is he interjecting me?
Okay, please.
Section 350, read that for
I'm
us.
not
Now
going
give
to interject
President
you.
power.
You
Read
don't
that
do a
for us.
person for my
Give
ear.
nonsense to
So
us.
Oh,
Section 3,
please let me.
Go on, Impa, hold on. Please, guys, please. Make una allow Tunde read this thing. No interruption, please. No interruption.
he dey beat around
Let
the
him read.
bush. Why
Biriki, no
president
verse
go remove
abeg.
section 350? Let
Biriki,
concern am.
Biriki, no worry. Biriki, no worry now. Shebi, everybody get this information now.
He
Make
section
him read. If
350
he reach finish, we go catch him.
rely.
We go catch
Let
him.
jeez,
Let
this
him read.
all you men of little feet. This is one of this is why Nigeria can never ever have nuclear weapon because people are so emotional and easily triggered. Hold on,
Make
please.
him read him.
Let
No
him
worry.
finish. Let him finish. Hold on.
He make
We have Odwano here.
Biriki, no verse
He
abeg.
is
Make him
he
read.
is a
Make him
lawyer.
dey read.
This lady
Yeah.
also a lawyer. Let him finish, please. I beg
Tunde said a
2 minutes more.
lawyer for
Thank you. A
APC.
minute more, please. Thank you.
Tunde, go ahead.
APC, you'll be lawyer for APC. I don't want to do any that dead party. So
Tunde is not a member. We don't know him.
yeah, I don't because
He's not in our WhatsApp group.
I was in APC room this one. They removed me, so those ones don't even like me at all. So the Speaker of the House of Assembly shall, within 7 days of the receipt of the notice, cause a copy of the notice to be served on the holder of the office. The holder of the office shall be these things shall be served to the president of the country. Please understand how to interpret law, because I'm quite sure some people don't even know how to interpret law. And shall also cause any statement made in reply to the allegation by the holder of the office to be served on each member of the House of Assembly. So I'm even interpreting this in a way better because I think this is where it stops. Let me just stop there. So I don't want to go further because it's a long thing. So I'm just going to focus on when the president have the right to suspend
Section
the
350.
governor.
Not a treat.
Oh, I don't want. Oh, like
Okay,
so.
all right.
Wait.
Okay. So Tunde, thank you so much. You have now read it. Please, our celebrity lawyer, what do you have to say to that? Then after you, will come to Naye, will come to King Shu, Ami Boom, then come to Anambra, then Chief. Sorry, Chief, then Anambra. I beg. Celebrity lawyer, over to you, please. Please, thank you. Lotunde, thanks for reading that section for us. Thank you.
Is she speaking? I can't hear anybody.
She's not speaking. Let's okay. So, Odwanyo, please respond to Tunde's.
Wait, is it me? Like, I
Anyways,
thought it's celebrity
unfortunately,
lawyer.
what Tunde is reading is not what the provision of law is.
Don't
He's
mind.
reading section 188, which rather on the patronage of the governor. Section 305 is what the president is relying on to declare state of emergency. And I state very clearly once again that the president does not possess the power to suspend anybody, not even a councillor, not a local government chairman, and not even the office of the governor that the president has the power to do. The only constitutional provision that there are two issues on that section 305 that the president is saying, which I say is just one issue, in my own opinion, and it is very clear in Section 305. The president only have the power to declare state of emergency when issues of Section 305 sub 2 arise, sub 3 arise, sub 4 arises, sub 5 and sub 6. That's where the constitution provided for the president to do so. There's nothing in that same Section 305, sub 1 to 6, that said the president can actually suspend anybody. If you have written it, please, I'm ready to give you dollar. And I'll not give you dollar by joke. I will send it to the host. Say you have read it. This is what you read, and you understood what you read to yourself. And you can say it that the other person will understand what you are saying. What we are saying is not anybody becoming a party member or anybody. It's about what is right for Nigeria today. What is right for Nigeria today? If you set the bad precedent for us as a society, it will be bad for us to talk about it. So let's even do the right thing. It doesn't matter whether you're a Yoruba person like Tunde is doing today. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. It doesn't support anything with that is wrong.
Don't
Thank you.
tribalize this activist.
Not forget about
Stick
it.
to
No,
your
I know what
point.
to. No, no. In
No,
this
no,
on
no.
this Twitter here, people that have
Stick to
supported
your
evil
point.
here,
Don't do that.
people that have supported this president
Don't do
Tinubu
that.
evil.
Don't do that.
Listen,
Don't do
OJ,
that.
leave me now. You know
No, no,
I
no,
know they
no, no,
like to
no.
listen.
Don't do
OJ,
that. Don't do
I
that.
don't know how to tell people
Uh,
lies, and I don't
No,
know
no,
Odua,
how
no.
to minimize them.
Don't
Always
These
do
people that have
that.
result
supported
into
them, people that have supported
tribalism. If you can't
Odua,
Tinubu
win the argument,
on
always
these wrong
result
Odua,
into
things. And mostly
tribalism.
Yoruba people.
Odua, thank you very much. Please, please just raise your hand up. Okay, I'll come back to you. Let's keep the um mic moving. Who the go next now? And you see my swear. I say don't the year drop. Okay, we see my swear will go.
It's me next.
Equity, I
They
beg,
will come.
equity. If you know they know who come, know they just assume they, I don't call this for time. This must have just came just now. Now he has been here for like only God knows how long. Eh?
I think say one go based on people will come new now.
No. Make
Okay,
we
9 year
now
go. Okay,
now you
okay,
that
no 9
after
year
now you
go, no
come
9 year.
to Arun Bunda and you see Maxwell, please. Even Ken himself there
Okay,
before now.
okay.
You see, people like Tunde, when they're reading all these legal things, the law that they supposedly read and they interpret it. This is what led to the argument when Peter Obi was running for presidency, when they were debating the and the or, as in nobody, all of a sudden, everybody didn't understand English and nobody understood that Abuja, if you do not get a certain amount of votes in Abuja, you cannot qualify as president. But all of a sudden, everybody knows how to interpret law. Anyways, it goes back to the point where our institutions have unfortunately, like, as soon as the Supreme Court gave that ruling against Peter Obi and the Labour Party, everything that's happening today was a consequence of that. If we People can reference Obasanjo, they can reference this, they can reference that. But the honest truth, in this presidency right now, Gong, the problem is started with this administration and how the administration was administered. We can all say that somebody, was it Tunde that even said that Odili was a good governor? And if somebody wants to, if a Korean wants to run for 50 years, they can run. If a German wants to run for 20, they should run as long as you are competent. Now, first of all, Odili was one of the main reasons why River State is in the way that it is, why it's so fragile politically. It's one of the main reasons. He is one of the main reasons why River State is fragile politically. He's the reason that why normal people, young men, were armored in guns and all these kind of things, especially Ijaw people. to protect their own personal interests. Now you're coming to say that even Wike was good because he built flyover. This is the basic things that any society or any government should provide for their people. Is that why I should now praise him for doing good? What is the personal development that people in River State are facing? Are they not? Are people not jobless? Are people not working minimum wage jobs to just survive and doing 500 jobs in one? And that's what you're praising a governor to do. Now, if the people were not on Governor Sim Fubara's side, there's no way that people. You see that local government election that happened. When did that election happen? Sometime last year in August, I think. I can't remember. The local government election when the PDP House of Assembly members defected. Do you think that people in River State did anyone come out to protest against that election? Everybody saw what was happening. Nobody came. Wike that presented budget in front of 6 people, nobody broke his head. Wike that Supreme Court judgment will even come and he will not even obey the Supreme Court judgment. Nobody bat their eyelids. Now, and this is why I say, as much as people like to deny tribalism in Nigeria, it cannot come out of you because it is systemically entrenched in our society. There's a difference between racism. Okay, I'm in the UK, right? There's a difference between racism and hate crime. Someone can abuse me that I am Black, but it is a very different thing to a system oppressing me because of my race. And this is what is happening in Nigeria. And what even makes it worse is on top of that oppression of tribe, it is also a class oppression. Nobody talks about the class oppression that is happening in Nigeria. There is nothing like middle class again. Middle class is now poor in Nigeria. Just because you can afford a crate of egg does not mean that your class has increasing the social mobility structures in Nigeria. And this is what people need to be talking about. So when I see people come on this space and say, oh, this is how the politics, nobody has asked, what do Rivers people want? It's all politicians. You guys should satisfy Wike now. You break the disagreement. Is Wike God? Is Wike God? The only reason why he's getting away with this thing is because the structure has allowed him to do so. And who is the structure? President Ahmed Tinubu. If it wasn't for Tinubu and his recklessness, do you think this can run? Even under Buhari's time, it cannot run because they knew the importance of keeping the Niger Delta stable. It has an impact on people. That's what's even annoying me in this whole discussion. Nobody is thinking about the impact on the people of River State. Wike did not pay civil servants for 13 months. He was pocketing the money all around River State. You can see his supermarket. He's even built one of the most beautiful hotels in Port Harcourt, and we're allowing this to run. You cannot trace where his money is coming from. We don't know where his father got his own money from. We don't know where his family line is. Is it lawyer money? Why are all the lawyers not in Nigeria not like Wike now? If it's lawyer money. The most important thing that Wike did and why he's even, I wouldn't even say it's smart but in the tongue of Nigerians, they'll say it's smart, is that Wike empowered the elite in River State. So when you have notable people like OCJ Okocha coming to defend Wike's rascality, people that you so highly, you perceive as a high honor, are coming to defend this person. Why is that? So my point is that it's gone beyond us. I don't even think it's one of those things that until we break down, we save our institutions. Without our institutions being saved, Nigeria cannot be saved. If the Supreme Court can be compromised, that's the rule of law is the most prominent. That's the foundation of why we're all existing, or why even Nigeria exists. If not, we should have separated a long time ago. We should have separated a long time ago. But we're here. And then this is, I mean, even this matter has even gone past Fubara. I don't even care about that one anymore. It's about the institutions and how the disrespect for the constitution, and people are not talking about this enough. As in, your constitution, you're disrespecting it loud and clear. You cannot run. I don't even like to compare the West, because the West have their own, you know, they go about it in their own ways, and corruption is everywhere, including the UK, US, everywhere. It's everywhere. But do you know what I love, regardless, is that the system still works for majority of the people. In Nigeria, it's the other way around. It only works for a selective few, and even that selective few are even suffering there. They don't know when next they will be attacked. That's why you see, how can you go to a place like Abalama in Calabari Kingdom and you're carrying security as if you're the president? Because of fear. You cannot even roam the streets. You cannot go to the shop. And it's all these little things that is making Nigeria the way it is. And people are saying he should play the game. He should play the. Why can't we advocate? I don't know. Has it been diluted since Peter B stopped, like, you know, being at the forefront anymore? Even, let me not even get into the opposition. The opposition, their own is just to make statements. Statements are not going to save this country. The people that are elected, how can even okay, last thing I'm going to say, we don't even need to read law to understand that elected presidents, as in a so-called elected president by the people, for the people, can now take away an elected governor for the people, by the people, away and suspend them. In which federation do you even see that existing? It is the basic framework of a federal government. So you do not need to interpret law as if nobody knows how to speak English again. To understand that in the federal structure of any political government, if it's elected by the people, the person that he's that even supposed to be suspended is wicked because he's appointed. He wasn't elected. So if you feel like you can cross over that, then that is ridiculous. There's no interpretation that you can even, because if you're allowing this interpretation to run, trust me, it's not only River State this will happen to. That means that all governors are prone to this. All governors, everybody's going to collect their own. If this is allowed to slide, every governor will face their own if they're not careful. Now they're calling Adeleke the smartest, one of the smartest governors, because he pockets his speaker on the side. You can say that, of course, but what about the impact on the people? Let's remember actual people that are going to be affected by this. Teachers, our children. It's not every time it's about chopping money. Sometimes think about the people that, anyways, the value of life is not even nothing in Nigeria. So I cannot advocate for something that they cannot even advocate for themselves. I yield the mic.
Oh, thank you so much. I bet King Shu. Quick like beg, make like God knows how. King Shu, are you there? King Shu, are you there? King Shu. Okay, it's not there. I'm going to come over to you after you come to Anambra, then come to Lotunde, then come to Doctor.
All right. All right. Thank you so much,
No, sorry, please.
Odogu.
Yes, after you come to UC Maxwell, I beg, no vex, I beg.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You see, what bothers me is this. I don't know why most Nigerians like to turn the law upside down when it's not favorable to them. If you look at your constitution, I'm not a lawyer. I was just a mere soldier. I'm a very active one as well. The president has no unilateral powers to draft soldiers into a state unless it is approved by the National Assembly. That is the law. That is the law. Before you send soldiers, president, if there is problem in a state, before a president will draft soldiers to go into that state, he or she must get the approval of the National Assembly. If the president has no such law to draft soldiers into a state, what makes you think that a president has the right
Samuel, bring me
to?
back up. I don't hear anybody.
They can hear me. Unless maybe you can come down. You can come down and come back.
Doggy, drop and come back.
Can you hear me, Equity?
Yeah, I can hear you, Owen.
Okay. If the president has no right to draft soldiers into a state without the consent or approval of the National Assembly, what makes you think that he has the right to suspend an elected executive governor of a state, elected by the people? You see, there are quite a lot of things that has happened in Nigeria before that are very abnormal and unconstitutional. Obasanjo did it. Obasanjo unilaterally sent soldiers to Udi, in the same river state we are talking about today. People were killed. Innocent men and women were killed. Children were made to be orphans. He did it, nobody spoke about it. He did the same thing in Zaki BM. Obasanjo, nobody spoke about it. It becomes a norm. Today, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now using his executive power to suspend an elected governor. And most of Nigerians are here celebrating it. Why? Why? The same politicians, I call them politicians. They are politicians. They are not politicians. They are politicians. Look, Nigerians, if you feel that Nigeria is going to work, you have a very bright future in Nigeria or something like that, you must do what J.J. Rawlings did to the corrupt politicians in Ghana. Then you will be free. Without that, most of these politicians in Nigeria that have amassed so much wealth that they can even buy Nigeria or buy anybody, buy your Supreme Court judges, will continue to unleash this on Nigerians. If this is allowed to slide, like Neye said, others would take, precedence from what has happened today. Is it the right thing? No, it is not the right thing to be done. You cannot do that. I still believe, for those of you that believe that Nigeria is going to work, the foundation of that country, the grand norm of that country that empowered these criminal politicians to do and undo in Nigeria must be checked. If you don't check them, they will continue. Their children will come. You saw Seyi in Yobe State praising his father with what is going on in Nigeria. He was there praising his father, and so on and so forth. They are breeding their words to come and take over from what the criminality their parents, their uncles and aunties has been doing to you people. I do not know how you are going to do it. NSA started, they leveled their guns and bullets on them, instill fear on the rest of the Nigerians. Today, can you protest? People are afraid to speak out. When you speak out, you are gagged. You are penalized for speaking out. How are you going to solve this existential problem that is facing Nigerians? I'm not a proponent of Nigeria because Nigeria is a lawless country. What is affordable, what is done in order in some countries, bring it to Nigeria. they will turn it upside down and destroy it. Is it not the same system of government that the United States is practicing today that Nigeria is practicing? Why is United States working and Nigeria cannot work? Because you have a very skewed foundation. It's left for you, for those of you that believe that Nigeria will work, to fight for it. And if you cannot fight for it, be ready to accommodate whatever that these criminal politicians will give to you. Mr. Odogu Namoche, Equity, I yield here. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you so much. Maxwell, are you there? Maxwell. Is Maxwell there? Chief, you see Maxwell, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
Can
good
I
day.
go?
Yeah, over to you, please.
All right. Imperfect or Dogu. Good day to you. Good day to everybody on the space. Arufi,
You're welcome,
Queen, and
welcome, boss. Welcome, boss.
okay. So I something was being said on the space that started itching my ear, and I think that we should try as much as possible, irrespective of our political inclination and where we try to lean towards, to at least it doesn't hurt us to say things the way they are. Even if you want to colorate it, try so much to still make it look reasonable or sensible. To look at the constitution and say that there is a provision in the constitution that allows for such impunity is actually to look at us like people who are illiterate or who don't know anything. There is no place in the constitution. Section 180 provides for the ways that a governor will cease to hold office. Cease to hold office. So either at the end of his tenure, either at his death, either by impeachment, or there is a fourth one. And Section 188 went further to talk about the method of removal, that is impeachment, what we know as impeachment of the governor of a state. And the governor of a state can only be impeached by the state house of assembly, two-third majority of that state house of assembly, and only on the basis of gross misconduct. That is the only basis. And that was one of the reasons why um, Peter Obi, during his time in Anambra State, was able to get judgment from the court against that impeachment that was carried against him. If you cannot show gross misconduct, if you cannot follow the process of removal, then it is an illegal act. Then after Section 188, you come down to the provisions of Section 305. I think that before I even speak on Section 305, I need to say the facts of the issue here. There are certain things that people are mixing up, and that is what is causing the misconception. The broadcast that was made yesterday has four things in it. Number one was a declaration of state of emergency. Number two was the suspension of a sitting governor duly elected. Number three was the suspension of the legislative arm of a state, all legislators. Number four now was the appointment of an administrator, a military man, to oversee the state. Of these four things I've mentioned that took place yesterday, only one is founded on the Constitution, on the 1999 Constitution, and that is the declaration of state of emergency. So if a president goes ahead to declare state of emergency, no problem. It is entirely, and that is why people are deliberately, for some, and some ignorantly mixing it up. Nobody is saying that declaring state of emergency is illegal. However legal it may be, we are also saying it wasn't time, it is totally unnecessary, because there is no actual breakdown of peace or public safety in Rivers State. To go further to the other three issues on the suspension of a sitting governor, it was the same thing we saw with the previous suspension of what's his name, Walter or Nugget, of the judiciary. No arm of government can unilaterally look at another arm and suspend or remove. There is no place in the constitution that supports it. It's not possible. The state of Rivers as a state is a federating component. Nigeria is another is the generality, the federal is a federating component. Tinubu cannot unilaterally, by an order, suspend a governor who an election was held on in his state. He won, he was declared. In fact, it was even taken to court, and the court declared that he won the election. So, apart from these four modes prescribed under Section 180 of the Constitution, and then Section 188 for the case of impeachment, he cannot be removed. He cannot be suspended by any means whatsoever. The entire now moving to Section 305, and the same thing applies to the legislative arm. Section 305 is specific to states of emergency. What is the meaning of state of emergency? When you look at the entirety of 305 subsection 3, all you are going to see there, the major language that is used there is breakdown of peace, breakdown of order, imminent danger. Those are the language. That is to show you that it only points towards the security of lives and property of that area, of that territory. So it does not cover the ambit of the executive power of a governor or the legislative power of members of the legislature. So a state of emergency, however declared, does not remove people who have been validly elected into office. If there is actual breakdown or imminent breakdown of peace, and so what it does is, what state of emergency does is, it removes the security powers per se from a state governor, and every security apparatus now answers to the federal. So what does it mean? It gives Bola Tinubu the authority as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces to now deploy military men, police, or whatever security agency to Rivers State for them to now answer directly to him and not to the state governor, because there is now an actual breakdown of peace or imminent breakdown of law and order. To move a step further, if you are with your constitution, look at the provisions of 305 subsection 4. What does it say? It says that a state governor can request the president to make an order of state of emergency in his state. And before he does that, he would have received permission from 2/3 majority of the State House of Assembly. So what is it saying technically? That a state governor can actually order a state of emergency. I'm saying technically, he cannot order it by his mouth. He can request for it to be ordered, but I'm saying technically he can. So to now draw that symbiosis, if a state governor sitting can ask for state of emergency to be ordered, does it mean that he loses his seat when he asks for a state of emergency to be ordered in his state? It is not logical. It is like telling me that if there is actual breakdown of peace, public safety in the entirety of Nigeria, and Bola Tinubu is to order a state of emergency, you are simply telling me by what has happened that after Bola Tinubu orders a state of emergency, that he will hand over his power to an administrator, to either the chief of staff of the military or whatever the case may be, to now oversee, to now administer Nigeria. So if it is not possible for Bola Tinubu to declare state of emergency in Nigeria and hand over power to the military, why is state of emergency declared in a state and power is handed over to the military? So what we are seeing here is an executive coup, in quotes. So the military has not by itself, by its own motion, carried out a coup on its state. A federal entity, a republic, the executive, the federal executive has seen that has happened. So these 3 points remain illegal: the suspension of the state governor, the suspension of the legislative arm, and the appointment of an administrator. In his broadcast, he went further to say that the administrator will not make new laws. So within this period of 6 months, the office of the legislative house will be redundant. The office of the executive will be redundant. There will not be administration of the laws that are already made. There will not be making of new laws. He went ahead to say that only the judiciary will continue to exist. And this is what happens in a military regime. Immediately they declare that a coup has successfully taken place, 2 institutions are suspended, the executive and the legislature. The judiciary is only allowed to enjoy some sort of existence, but not independently. So that is what we are seeing. And thanks to Bola Tinubu, and it beats my imagination that people talk about the legality of this simply on the basis of the fact that it has happened before with OBJ. That something has happened before is not a ground for talking about the legality. It's like saying that because men have killed people in the past, killing is now legal. That is what we are trying to do. So to just wrap up this, I know I've been speaking for a while. For those of you who would like to blame Similar Fubara, I would like you to take a step back and think, what if it is not Fubara that is actually there? Our fight is not for Fubara. I don't want people to mix it up. Our fight is for the democracy they say we enjoy. If we now have a good governor that possibly did not was not in bed with the former governor, did not sign any agreement, was not looting, and this same thing is done to him, we will not have the right, excuse me, we will not have the right to speak, because when it happened to somebody who we felt was illegal, we did not speak. So please and please, I want our mindset to be clear. There is no place in the 1999 Constitution that gives Bola Tinubu the right and power, anyone you choose to use to do what he has done. This is simply an executive coup on the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the good people of Rivers State. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. But Lotunde said the I don't know, they did something to that law or whatever in 2018 by Buhari. They enacted a new law or they adjusted or I don't know what
I
happened.
beg, I know they hear close, so I mean they
But
call.
all the same, Sha. Let
I
us
was
move
supposed to
on.
go
Yeah,
after you.
Thank you so
Odogun, what
much.
happened? What happened before now? When Ambassador was using that power was that there was no recourse to the National Assembly, right? So the only recourse that were made,
I mean, who's they call me
section
because I'm supposed to go
305,
after you.
they just added that section
And I'm not
sub
hearing you.
one there, that the president have to make recourse to the National Assembly before such experience can happen.
I'm audible at all.
Yeah, I dey hear you, Mr. Nambra.
All right, thank you so much. Please, let's hear from a lady. Where is Dr. Talatu? Oh, damn, she left. Where is Dr. I want us to like hear from a lady before. Okay, since Anambra is not there, let us hear from Lotunde. Lotunde, are you there?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
go on, please.
Yeah. Come on. Nigeria education system has been discombobulated, and if you study law in Nigeria, I mean, I've been to that one in Ikeja. This is not the Lagos State High Court. That place look like a jagun. Look like where they are selling bonds and pop. Like so, the lawyers are just there to be charged and bill. I mean, with that kind of wig, I don't think any logical argument will come from any type kind of lawyer. So okay. I'm gonna go to the 305. So we want to be focusing on the 305. Let's ignore the 188. Let's focus on the section 305. And the thing is like those days of where you need the lawyer to interpret something for you, those days are gone. Like, majority of us are educated and we are well traveled. So you are not talking to someone that still lives in Ogumosho. No. The constitution gives the president the power to declare a state of emergency is if in any state, if need be. I'm going to go focus on two. The constitution is silent on what becomes of the governor of such state as there is silent in the constitution. So which means that no, when you look at this case now, this case has to do with two people. I mean, like when I mean two people, like Fubara and the House of Assembly, 27 members of the Rivers House of Assembly, right? Those are the two people causing chaos in Rivers State. Right? So, does it make any logical sense in any way, shape, or form that the president will declare state of emergency and still let that same governor continue rolling? Make it make sense. So, since you are saying that no, the president doesn't have the right to suspend a governor, so show me any law that say that that stop the president from doing it. Show me any law. Because majority of you guys went to that Lagos that law school in Lagos as no is not beneficial. Show me any law. Let me focus on the three. In a state of emergency, let me finish now. In a state of emergency, another Nigerian, usually from the military, anyone that knows law, another Nigerian, usually from the military, have to be deployed to manage the affairs of the state. Another Nigerian. Because at the end of the day, two leaders cannot govern a state. The power of the original governor, which is Sim Fubara, have to be depreciated, have to be excreted. So some people, yeah, like, please use your logic for once. Let's even take away education, because I'm realize that majority of you bribe your way when they bribe your way to, like, the way you are bribing your NYC is the way you are bribing your lecturer. Use your logic, right? The president have to come in and step in as the father of the nation and say, okay, since there is an emergency, right? The two people fighting, both of you have to step down. And the Rivers State House said they are okay with what Tinubu did, and the even Super House said it's okay what Tinubu did. So you, that you only got know where some of you study law from, you're not saying there is no law, there is no law. And I've said this thing was amended in 2018 by Buhari. It was amended in 2018, February 2018. But you choose not to go and use your phone to, because majority of you are using your phone to be watching X video. You are watching all these things. Your phones are there to go, and I've been researching since yesterday, and I'm coming up with fact and fact. Because now I've ignored the section 188, which is like chapter 6, part 2, 188. I'm focusing on the 305 now. So does it make any sense for the president to still allow the said governor to continue rolling? Do you know how many chaos is gonna happen? Do you know how many pipelines they will still bomb? Do you know how many refineries that will still be messed up? Do you know how many casualties we're gonna be talking about? Is it until we lose thousands of Rivers State Indian that's when we start talking? You know, for me, if I were in that position, I will extend that thing. And the National Assembly, I mean the Senate, they just complete the reading today. They didn't even focus on it. Because now I was watching the Senate, they didn't even focus on it because they know what the president did is the right thing. And Fubara is not crying about it. To me, it's even helping Fubara. Because at the end of the day, they would have just impeached him. Because the impeachment initiation already like started last week. That thing would have lasted 2 weeks, and boom, they would have removed him. So this was to save him. Maybe he will continue his ruling maybe like 6 months from now, maybe a year from now. So when you are a lawyer or maybe you have common sense, please use it. You are here to say something that makes sense, not just something that you learn that's not even working for you.
What did you study?
Say something that makes sense. For me, I've been here
Odogu,
saying something.
Odogu, I will reply this
Oh,
man, please,
please,
with 1
please,
minute,
please,
please.
please,
Thank you.
please, 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 please,
What
please.
did
I
you
didn't
study?
interject you.
What did you
I didn't
study?
interject you. I didn't. Oh, Jesus Christ, man! I didn't interject. I've been
What
quiet.
did you study in that
Ah.
question?
Oh, ma'am.
You should
What do you
ask
Ma'am.
study
for
now?
a refund, though. Ask for a refund.
Oh, probably why me now? Why me now?
What
I
do
didn't
you
interject all of you now.
study? Not the course lawyer. What do you study?
Oh, I didn't
Don't
interject
worry, make it
anyone
finish. I will
now.
come after him. That's the only thing I have to.
Please, I didn't interject anyone. Please, let's respect each other. You guys were talking, and accent is not brain. Just because you have a foreign accent, I can even easily switch my own accent too for any accent.
Ask
So
for
accent
a
is not brain.
refund.
Accent is not brain. Yeah. Like, ma'am, ma'am, me, I can go low. I can go low. I'm telling you,
Go
I can go
low. I
low. You
dare
are almost.
you. Go low.
Yeah, you're almost 40 with 80 body count. Nobody want to marry you. Get the fuck out of my face, bitch.
Oh,
So,
that's all you can say. Go and get your
yeah,
money out.
Looking at the way you look at the way you shape like water buffalo.
So the
So
question
Show me
still
your
answer.
mouth.
again, wait, like, ma'am, you shape like water buffalo. Go and focus on your weight. Jesus Christ of India, damn. Go
Don't
and focus on your
focus
weight.
on your
Like,
dignity.
yeah, go and be taking some Ozempic, fat bitch. So, like I'm
Oh,
saying,
look at you. This is why I say your IQ
yeah,
is
you
below
don't like
10.
again. Initially, I was
This is
like, I
why
was
Please,
I
gonna
say
go
let's
your
low.
IQ
Yeah,
is
focus.
yeah.
below
Let's
10.
Don't
focus. If
focus
you
on.
have any issue,
Wait,
go to
wait.
IGM and settle it.
No, she's not
Go
my
to
type. OJ,
GM
she's
and
not my
settle
type.
it.
She's too
Let's
old. No, OJ,
focus,
she's not my
please.
type. She's not my type. She's too old. No, no, like no, like this thing shaped like a water
I'm too
buffalo. Cut to the
old.
fuck.
I am 29
Nah,
this
nah, nah,
year.
ma'am, go and take Ozempic. Like Jesus Christ, like double decker looking
Tell
ass
your
bitch.
mom to take it first before I take it.
Double decker looking ass bitch. Look at your neck.
Tell
No
your
neck.
mom and grandma to take it first before I take it too.
No neck. Neck idiots. You probably stink. When you say Lagos stink, that's probably coming from your pussy, bitch. So like I'm saying, right? Anyone that have logical
You
sense,
will not
and please
speak
stop
for this
asking me.
person.
Yeah. The same way you can't get a man, bitch. Why they fuck you
Jolly.
Now,
fast?
just allow him, please. Just allow him.
Absolutely not.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely not.
Cool. Why
Absolutely
the
not.
fuck you farting? You are so big, so
Well, I want
fucking
turn this place to
farting.
banter.
You
I
are
beg, let's
so
stay
big,
focused.
so. Oh,
I beg, I
let me
beg.
just continue. let me just
Naya,
continue.
please. Naya, please. Let's come back, please.
Telling
Please
Yeah,
don't
let
you,
me just
vex.
this is why your mom shouldn't have fucked someone for
let me just
money,
continue.
because they be so white people.
I ain't
Hey,
got no type. big big bitches are the things I don't like. Okay, let me just okay. Whoever is me.
me being big is an indication of my wealth, my dear. You're there impoverished, malnutrition.
Uh, who is muting me now? Please let me just finish my submission so I can have something to do. So like I'm saying.
Make una use money, drop each other now.
Who is muting me should stop, So, like I'm saying, right, President Tinubu did the right thing, right, and he has the power, right. And please, if you are a charge and bail lawyer, please focus on rescuing people from Yanopaja police station, 5 naira, 10 naira, or something like that. I shouldn't be out here because the law says all these things there, right. And I'm gonna repeat it. One, the constitution gives the president of the power to declare a state of emergency if need be. Two, the constitution is silent on what becomes of the governor of such state, as there is silent in the constitution. Clear silence. Because the two people here is saying Fubara is the main chaos here. Fubara is the main chaos here. He has to be suspended.
How do you think
He
this way
has
they
to
talk? Are
be.
you taking it through your anus or you think I'm through another place? How do you
Oh,
think this
yeah,
way they
okay.
talk with your head? How you think that? I want to understand why you joke or you play. Like, are you taking this thing with your head or your
Fubara
anus?
na fiber.
I want to raise that whether your anus they think.
I'll be out I'm
Because all
like
this why you they
I,
talk. You never
Fubara,
pontificate only one place. So
Ma,
you take
ma,
it to where the position is placed.
Oga,
You
I'm
never
quite sure.
pontificate
Your
one.
law
When you
degree
go
needs to
to
be
just say
questioned. Your law
when
degree needs to be
I stop
questioned.
this thing,
Your
what
law
if
degree
you
needs to be
don't do for
questioned.
your life?
You
What
should
if
be
you do
going.
for your life? What if
Go
you
out there and be
let me
bailing
ask
Yahoo
you
Odunayo,
this
boys.
sir.
question.
Go out there and be bailing
What
Yahoo
Odunayo,
if
sir.
boys.
you
Don't
Can
do
worry,
I
for
ask
your
you
law.
a
what if you do
question,
with your
sir?
life as a
Go
federal?
out there
Tunde
and be
said
bailing Yahoo
What if
justice
you
boys.
do?
needs to be
What if
Go
you
out
do?
there
questioned.
and be
Oh.
bailing Yahoo.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. I don't know. It's all back. Just a minute. Back. Just a minute.
Odunayo, sir. Can I ask you a question? No. Oh, I don't think I can't hear you, but I'll ask
I can
anyway.
hear you. I can hear.
Okay,
I
okay,
was
good, good,
speaking.
good. Okay, I can hear you. So I'm going to ask. You're saying that the issue is between Fubara and the
I
20.
beg, whoever suspended me unconstitutionally when it was my
will you
turn,
keep quiet?
that person.
Full administrator.
Uh,
No,
Anabra, they called you.
they
I
reached
think
my turn and they suspended me and brought in sole
your
administrator
connection
to
was
speak.
bad.
You know,
They
make sense.
called you, Anabra.
They call you. Let us say that
They
your network
called
not
you.
very good.
They
Sorry, sir.
called you. Your connection was
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
I beg,
person
how
who
much to
suspend my
take
network,
drop
I had a call.
everybody here? I
Dan
want
Food,
use
what are
my
you
own
saying?
submission.
Dan
Mr.
Food, what are you saying?
Wait,
Odunayo,
make I talk now.
let,
My
I
turn, I
want to
beg. So
ask.
I
You
don't
said
suspend me again. My
the
network is
case is
fine. I
between
beg, my
Fubara
talk.
and the 27 House member.
Tunde, you
Hold
asked
on,
the
hold on,
question.
Anabra.
Doggy, wait me ask the question finish. If you talk,
Wait,
may you
make
finish
I
the
talk.
question. No, wait me finish. Then you talk. Make it dey
So
fast.
why did
My
Big, I
network
thought you
is
were a
talk
graduate. Why
why
can't you
now.
speak
Doggy,
English? Everything pidgin. Are you not a
you
graduate?
enter. Me you ask me you enter. So I make it the easy.
Are you not a graduate? Are you not a graduate? Why you always
Which
speaking
school you
pidgin
go?
every
Which school
time?
you go?
I
Oga? Which
thought you
school you
studied
go? We need to examine you
petroleum
for tell us the
engineering.
school you go. I go make sure that they call your certificate because you are saying something
Studies
with
petroleum
grammar.
engineering, dumbass.
Which school you go? Which school you go? Which
I
school
thought
come
you
again?
studied like Odnaya. I shouldn't be in the same circle with you.
Which school
You
you
are so
go,
dumb.
Oga?
Or I shouldn't be in the
You
same
never not
circle
be
with
I
you.
not be your
You
mate. I
are
not
so
be your
dumb.
mate. Even for education where you
Your
talk about, I not be
your
your
brain should
mate.
be microwave. Like, come on, like I
Oga,
shouldn't be.
I not be your mate. Even for education where you talk about.
Your brain should be microwave. You
Oga,
shouldn't
not be
be
your mate. For even the education where you talk
like
about, not be
you
your
are
mate for that
even
education where
speaking.
you talk
But
Is
about.
this
today
the kind of English you
I don't know
speak?
what you don't do. What you don't do with
you
your
know
life where
talk.
you did like this.
Is
What you
this the
do for
kind
you?
of
What's
English you
there?
speak?
Okay.
Is you speak in court of law, and you are claiming to be a lawyer. You claim to be a lawyer. Is this the kind
Which
of
school you
English
go?
you
Which
speak
I
in
school
court
you
beg,
of
not
go?
law?
they
Which school
change
you
your
go?
accent
Which
now.
school you
Oh.
go? Which school you go? Tell us
Is
which
this
school
the
where
kind
you
of
go.
English you speak in court like Jesus
Call
Christ
the
of
school where
India?
you
Like
go, Oga.
dumbass.
Call the school where you go.
Like
Call the school of where you go. Call the school where you go for here. Call her for here. I went to Uniben. Call school where
like
you go.
He
Call
don't
school where you
go
go here.
master.
Call her
Wait,
for
you
here.
school.
went
can
to
I ask a
a
They
question,
cultist.
play. They
please?
too say everybody
You
that
went
they
to a
make
cultist
sense.
school, school of cultists,
Tunde,
school
Eh?
of cultists, Uniben.
You don't even
Tunde,
get.
you
You don't
know
even get
where.
school where you go. You don't
Now
even,
I confirm you know where.
you don't even go school. You don't even get.
All right. Thank you so much. Tunde, if you mention that thing again, you go choose between BDPA, Osasogi, and what this mean again?
If you
Wait
put
till
that
be.
before my
I better
network
mute
cut
your
again,
mic,
make I
you
talk.
young man.
Go so there.
Sakari, you get up say Ninja Man don't die. I foresee making give you either short sleeve or long sleeve. But today you better
Like also the night go carry and go, you
like
go
also
hear we
that
for
tell
there.
us that just kind of give one of those. I don't know if Ninja Man get some boys before in Waka. I beg, but today hold on. You don't quote your love finish. I just dey listen so
He
just
can't even talk the school he go. He go one college for education, go they tell us he go school.
I beg leave the thing
I
that
pity
beg.
you.
Anyway,
I
it's okay. It's okay.
I pity you.
Lotunde,
I pity you. You don't play with your life.
Doctor
I know you
Royal Rumble. I was calling
Oh
earlier
guy,
on
I
to
back two masters for America. I don't
speak, but he did not speak. I don't know. It's like he went down to listener section. Okay. I beg you are going to hear now from Anambra Singh. Then after him come to I don't know, but before then, Ojoyo, you need to like respond to Lotunde first of
After
all.
talking at me,
But Lotunde,
mhm.
hold on now. Lotunde, 10 minutes ago, you were saying, God damn it, what's going on? I beg, Ojoyo, ask your question, please. I'll come back.
I beg, I can't talk to someone that went to school of the cultists, University of Cultists. I can't talk
Can
to
I
that.
ask the question now, Mr. Otinayo?
you know the interesting thing about you, eh? You don't even
University
do
of Cultists, University of Cultists, I can't be out here talking to
I did
you
not go
like
to
now.
Uniben
You
alone.
know,
I
you
have two
you
masters in
graduated
America,
with
not
you
even
graduated
Nigeria,
with
which
school
they
in
which they teach
cultism. Like no, me and you, cultism in law,
Oga,
cultism in law.
even
That's
in
what you
Nigeria
studied.
where
Me
you
and you
dey, where
shouldn't
you
be in the
talk say
same circle.
where
Me
you
and
go
you
wrong,
shouldn't be in
where
the
you go
same
UK,
circle. Never,
Keep
never.
quiet, let me talk. You never
But
let
then,
me talk.
Oga,
You
You
let me
let
don't
talk
me
now.
talk
look up
now.
now. Now
Before
how
you
do I
Can
start
you
escape?
keep
me a
quiet?
question, Tunde.
Why you keep quiet? Keep quiet now. You
I
never
don't
finish your
understand this
talk.
thing.
So it's simple. Odogu, it's very simple. What's it called? You see Maxwell have come here and educated the people here, even more than I've done. Even went about different portion of the law to show very well that section 80, 180 of the constitution provided what means the president he can remove a governor or the governor can cease to be a governor in any state in Nigeria. He did not stop at that. He went to section 188 and went to section 305. And he did not stop at that. He went all these places to pontificate on the rule of law as regard as an operational in Nigeria. This young man here have blogged for more than 10 minutes. He couldn't pontificate on one provision and say this is where the president has the power to do so. But rather, he's just going around political gymnastic, like as if he romancing word.
So I
And you
beg,
say you went to
is
school.
anyone speaking, please? I can't hear anyone.
You say you went to school. Which school
Definitely, you
you
can't hear him because
Odile, are
he's
you
so
there?
dumb. You can't hear him. You won't be able to hear him. He's so
which school you
dumb.
attend? That's the honest truth. I want to believe that you are
You
just being
are a great
sarcastic.
thing. Like no,
You get the point. You're just being you are
your
being
intellect have
sarcastic.
to be questioned. I
Can
don't
you tell us where
whoever
can you
gave you
tell
that
us where you
certificate, they
study?
need to be
Can you tell us
arrested.
where you study?
Yeah,
Where you
that person
study in
needs to be
Because
Nigeria?
are you
arrested.
doing this thing
That
to me
whoever gave you that
intentionally or
certificate,
what?
that person needs to be arrested.
Because
Really dumbass.
they do this thing to me
You say they go
intentionally.
arrest
They
me.
punish me intentionally.
You don't even know who they
I
talk to
talk
Coming
you.
here
now.
to brag about Uniben. Like imagine you don't even have
Okay,
anything to
which
brag
school you
about.
go?
And
Which
me and
school
you
you
should be
go?
in the
Which
same
school you go?
circle.
Which school you
Like, can
go?
you just
Which
imagine?
school you go? Let me
Dumb
tell us where
ass.
you
I
go.
didn't
And
study
whether
in
so
Nigeria.
I
Did
write
you
to them
understand that?
immediately, make they
I
revoke
didn't
your
study in
because
Nigeria.
the certificate
I
is
didn't
already
study where there is heat.
plagued with
You were
insecurity
studying
and
where there
problem.
is heat, you know, heat they catch you. There was no light in your school. There was no light. You were
You see your
studying inside
problem.
Tunde, talk with
You be
inside my
foolish
own way.
person. You be foolish person, Sha.
You were studying
the
inside my
problem
own
maybe
way.
You be foolish
Me
person.
and you shouldn't be sharing the same space.
Which
Me
school
and
you
you
go for
should
Nigeria, Oga?
like
Which school you
Jesus
go for
Christ,
Nigeria?
man.
Which school you go for Nigeria? It's important. Which school you go for Nigeria?
I
Which school?
didn't
Which school?
study in Nigeria. Are you dumb?
Okay,
let's
God
gonna
bless
leave
you.
this too much and I know
God
we
bless
talk
Are
you.
you
Now you
now.
say
dumb?
We
you did
want
not
I
to
study
talk now
Nigeria.
didn't.
there. This
Now
one
you
why
say
Like,
you that's why you did not
I
study Nigeria in the first place.
geez, no, you are so dumb. Like, and you call yourself a lawyer. You are a judge and be a
Oh,
lawyer.
guy, you're
Go
a
and be
foolish
bailing
Ah,
person.
Yahoo
this
See
boys.
me,
one
you are talking
the
like
way
also they
they
beg boy.
change,
Where they
Go
oh,
beg
and
we
be
person.
know
bailing
they
Yahoo
hear
boys.
Mm. We know they
You
hear
know,
this
you are
accent.
bailing Yahoo boys. You bailing all those people that are shitting on Lagos. Go and be bailing them. That's what you are meant to do, dumbass.
You are
Okay, Anambra Singh, please. You are next, please. Anambra Singh, over to you. Thank you.
Anambra Sim speak, oh, let's have someone civilized speak for once.
Yeah, okay. I know on a plan. On a what you guys want to suspend me unconstitutionally,
who elect you?
outright.
Who
I
elect
want
you?
the host has elected me. The people that have
Then a
that given me the
dictatorship.
mic. Uh, okay, an appointment. I've been appointed to speak. Okay. I'll first of all start by saying that many times people cry for freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech must be respected. People must be allowed to speak. And I would say it here clear and loud that none of us want freedom of speech. None of us, zero, zero, zero from A to Z. Because if you actually want freedom of speech, you must respect people when they speak, whether the things you're saying suits you or not. Whether the things they are saying suits you or not, you have to respect them. Freedom of speech. You allow them that freedom to speak. After speaking, you can then counter them or debunk them. You will take the mic, you will speak, or somebody is speaking, you like what the person is saying, you keep quiet. Immediately somebody say anything that is opposing your view, you're mute and you start shouting. You don't want freedom of speech. So make we know they come about every time, every came market day to be crying about freedom of speech. We don't want it. That apart. Two, everybody now wants